Oh,
This meeting is being recorded.
and then we'll go for it. Right then, let us begin. All right, so we're going to start on the mat. Just get rid of wire dangling. So coming down to the mat. Just starting in all fours for a bit of a change. Andrew telling me I sounded clear, and as soon as I get down onto the floor, I start coughing and spluttering. So all we're going to do from here is a rhomboid push-up. Been a long time since we've done this. Elbows stay straight. The shoulder blades are going to come together on your back. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades together and then pushing the floor away to take them wide. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, pushing the floor away to take them wide. I'm just going to come here so you kind of see if I drop my head, shoulder blades coming together on my back, and then taking them wide. What I'm not doing at the moment, or trying not to do, is go so wide that I push up into a cat-cow position. Yeah, so my back's staying perfectly still. I'm just trying to isolate the shoulder blades. Hoping that makes sense. Like I say, it's been a while. I used to do this. It's one of my favorite exercises. So keep going for a little while. You'll have potentially less movement than it looks like I've got. And it's not so much that you've got less movement, you've got the same amount of movement. It is usually a case of the brain trying desperately to remember that it's got shoulder blades that are supposed to move on their own. So we're isolating the movement of the shoulder blade, separating that out from movement of the spine and your arms. We'll go into something a little bit more challenging in a moment and just see how much movement you've got there. So from there, tuck the toes under. And you come up into basically a beast, right? But we're going to keep that same position of the hands and knees, so more of an all fours position. Hover the knees off the floor and then just see if you can isolate the shoulder blades again. So obviously now it becomes a little bit more challenging. The muscles that control your shoulder blades have to work that little bit harder because you're under load. Try a couple more. And then release the knees down. And you can come off your wrists for a moment, give them a shake if they need it. Isolating the shoulder blades. So we're going to come into a wrist stretch here now. So back to all fours again, but this time with the hands pointing out to the side. So we could do the side to side movement, stretching the wrists. That's all fine. But then come to rest in the middle. And it's just a different arm position, so it alters the movement at the shoulder blades. Come back to your rhomboid push-up. The shoulder blades coming together and then shoulder blades going wide. And you want to keep a beady eye out for this happening. So you don't want your shoulders creeping up towards your ears as you do this. You want to keep the space between your shoulders and your ears, so your neck's nice and long. And then you can probably guess where this is going next. You're going to turn the hands around to face the knees. It's still in roughly an all fours position. And then same again, can you get your shoulder blades to move with your arm bones in this position? A few more. Then you can release, and then we're going to go very gently into the back of the hands. So we're no more rhomboid push up on the back of the hands. So come out of your all fours position. Be very gentle with yourself as you sweep the hands in. So the fingertips are pointing out to the sides. My wrists are incredibly tight this morning, so I'm going to stay right out here and be very gentle with them. And a teeny tiny side to side rock. The palms up to the ceiling. Again, shoulders away from ears, make sure your neck's free. For me, when my wrists go tight, I automatically crunch my shoulders to my ears. So nice and gentle. And then come out of that and same thing. And bring both backs of the hands down towards the mat. Fingertips pointed to your knees. Trying to straighten the elbows. Very gentle rock back. And a gentle release. Give them a loose shake, nice and easy on the wrists. And then we'll come over into our modified crab. So fingertips, but you start off in a normal crab. So set a normal crab or static crab with your butt on the floor, chest lifted, gaze up, and then stretch out. Let's go left leg stretching out, the right elbow into that guard position. So pulling down to the opposite hip, not the opposite hip, it's the same hip. We're going to lift the hips and take the arm overhead. So as you lift the hips, lift the right heel, come all the way up and reach the arm. And we're just going to pause there and breathe. And then slowly release back down. Go again, lift and reach. And slowly down. Let's go one more time. Lift and reach. And slowly down. And we'll reset our crab just to make sure we've got a decent start position before we stretch out the opposite leg. So right leg reaching out, left elbow pulling down to the hip, guard position. Same thing on this side. Lift the hips, lift the heel, and reach the arm. And slowly release it back down. Same again, lifting up and reaching over. And releasing back down. Let's go one more. Lift the hips, reach the arm. And release it all the way back down to the mat. Going over back to all fours, we're just going to come into our modified scorpion position. So from all fours, bring your elbows to the mat. Bring your left leg to center, or left knee to center. We'll go right leg first, turning the toes out. Take that leg in a big circle, up and around towards the ceiling, and then open the hips to the side. Nicely done, chaps, good. And reverse, bring it all the way back down. Before we go again, leading with the toes, up out and around. Oh, big stretch. And reverse it back down. Let's go one more, nice and steady away, all the way up and around. And return. And we'll switch sides, so bring the right leg towards the middle, left toes pointing out, and drive that knee up and around and over, opening the hips. And return. And again, up and away. And return. Let's go one more, up and around. And all the way back down. And then we're turning to our frog position. Do frog unload just because we've got some unloads in this next section. So go big toes together, bottom on heels, walk the arms away, head sinking between the arms. So here we go, we pull the floor towards us, allow the feet to lift. Sink the hips down, squeeze the glutes. Last thing to lift is the chin and the chest. Squeeze the feet, squeeze the butt. And this is where you want that kind of sensation of the rhomboid push-up, right? So you push the floor away to take the shoulder blades wide. Then round the spine, push back, and you're back down to square one. So if you remember this and you want to give it a bash, you might need to go a little bit wider with the hands. Stick with the other one, right? If this becomes too much of a mind bender for you. But otherwise, what did we call Monday? Mindfuck Monday, right? So some of you remember this one. You're scraping your nose along the floor as you come out. and then lifting up into your extension. We'll go back the way we came out, the previous one, the back way, the way we came out for the first one. Nod the chin to the chest and round back. So you might just let your hands come a little bit wider. It gives you more space. As you scrape the nose along the floor, the elbows bend out to the side. There's no weight in the arms at this point. As you come forward, the weight in the arms is the very last thing as you push up. So part of this is a timing issue. Yeah. Chin to chest and round the spine back. One more like that. Bend the elbows out to the side, nose along the floor, chest along the floor. And the very last thing is to push up. Good, not bad. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the feet. Make sure you're pushing the floor away, and then nod the chin to the chest. And we'll round it back. Just come a little bit narrow with the knees. You don't need to be quite as wide with the knees. And bring your hands out to the side. So I'm going to drop one shoulder to the floor. So I'm going to bend my left elbow. As I bend my left elbow, my right shoulder is going to drop towards the floor. And push back up. And then the other side, left shoulder dropping towards the floor. My butt's lifted off my heels, that's okay. I'm just trying to get the upper back of the shoulders moving. So for me, I don't get very much stretch when I'm just dropping the front of the shoulder to the floor. So I'm going to try and drop right at the very top. You really need to turn it. You would go underneath, wouldn't you? You awkward little bugger. Drop the top of the shoulder down towards the floor. And that seems to give me a little bit more stretch. And just a couple more to either side. And last one. And then we'll release from there. Good. Am I getting rid of the mat yet? No, I'm not. I'm going to keep the mat for a moment. Let's just go into an unload. So a set loaded beast and we'll go unload. To start with, we'll do a couple of those. So unload is where the knees stay low. You're going straight out, coming straight back in again. I love you too, bugger off. So when you're ready, feet hip distance apart, knees fly slightly wider than hips. Walk the hands away. And your bottoms on your heels. You're not helping, cat, bugger off. And when we're ready, set loaded beast, so knees hovering, unload, chin to chest, tail tucked. You come straight out, pause at the end. So make sure that you are in a rounded position. It's that same thing. Push the floor away, get your shoulder blades wide on your back. Return to loaded beast. You go straight back again. And you can pause with the knees on the mat. We go again, set loaded beast, unload, chin to chest, tail tucked, knees low. Squeeze the glutes when you get to the end, push the floor away. Return to loaded beast. And rest the knees down. Wave unload. So this time the hips are going to go high first, all right? So set beast, loaded beast even, wave unload. Hips go high, heels high, rounding the spine, so chin to chest, leading with that space between your shoulder blades, rounding the spine until you can't go any further, lowering the hips, squeeze the glutes, and lift the chest and the chin. Now hold it there, same thing, push the floor away. To reverse, chin to chest, push the floor away even more. As you round back up, hit that peak position, heels as high as you can, and then return to loaded beast. We'll go again from here, wave and load. Lift the hips up high, heels high. Round the spine forward. Lower the hips, lift the chest, lift the chin, squeeze the glutes. Reverse, chin to chest. Push the floor away. Round the spine back up. Lower the knees, return into loaded beast. And you can rest there and give the hands a bit of a shake. So I'm just we're going to do a couple of scorpions, not the full one, the scorpion reach from Loaded Beast. Just using it as a warm up still. So I'm going to get rid of my mat just so I can pivot on my toes. But your choice there. So a scorpion reach from here, scorpion reach from here is the one where we take the knee to the opposite wrist before we drive up. Yeah. From Loaded Beast. It's the only position we do that from. So same as usual, toes are tucked, knees slightly wider, arms walking away. We'll go right leg first. So right leg scorpion reach from here. Lift the knees when you're ready. Let's go right knee to left wrist. Leading with the toes as usual. Drive that leg out, up and over. And then we check in, all the usual points. Pushing the floor away to close the space between the shoulders and the ears. Left heel is high, left knee is bent, right shin parallel to the ceiling. And you want to take your top hip over as far as you can. There's going to be a big stretch down the right side of the body. We reverse, make sure the arms stay straight. Lead with the knee all the way out to the side, across to the opposite wrist. Then drive it back to your Loaded Beast. Before we go again on the other side. So left leg, scorpion reach. Drive the left knee into the right wrist. Lead with the toes, up, out and around. So we check in again. Push the floor away with the hands. High heel, bent knee. And your heels turn slightly out. And then turn slightly out to the right so that you can twist the top hip that little bit further. And then we're going to reverse. We're going to bring that leg all the way out to the side. Across to the opposite wrist. And then back to your Loaded Beast. And you can release the knees down. And give things a little bit of a shake if we need it. Right then, let us begin. I'm going to break down some of the flow stuff. Just try to think of the best way to start. Let's just, you know how we usually do the limb lifts as the activation? We'll do that, but we'll do it as part of a traveling form. So we've done forward traveling beast, which is just a crawl, forward and back. Let's have a go with forward traveling crab. Exactly what it sounds like, right? So it's a crawl the other way up. So we're going to set crab. Try to think of the best position. It looks dead simple, this. But it's another one where you try not to let your body rock from side to side. So let's just give it a bash to start with. So lift the hips up. I want that same proud chest, pulling the shoulders back, lifting the gaze. Opposite hand, opposite foot. So if I lift my right hand and left foot and take a step, I want to land toe to heel, right? So toe to heel and fingertips to palm. Toe to heel, fingertips to palm. Both at the same time. Toes to heel, fingertips to palm. And this is one of them where your head goes, whoa. And you'll be that focused on what your hand and your foot are doing that you'll start to slump. Spoken from experience, right? So pretend you are incognito and you don't want anybody to see you and you are creeping along your floor. Nicely done. So you'll find yourself, if you are taking a longer step with either your hand or your foot, you'll find your crab starts to get longer and longer. Reset when you've run out of space and we'll go backwards. I'm going to turn my back to the camera so you can kind of see what I'm doing with my hands as well. So there's definitely an elbow bend as you set off, right? So the elbow bends and you set off. When you're coming back the other way, I'm going forward, by the way, not backwards. I'm just turned around so you can see what I'm doing. So make sure the elbow bends as you pick up the hand. And then release the hips down. Well done. Give your hands a bit of a shake or wrists a little bit of a shake. So the whole idea about that is to get the hand and foot off the floor at the same time. So we're going to set, let's set beast. I think I'm just going to take you through this because we've done it that many times. I've added in an extra step here. So let's set beast. Let's just do side kick through for a moment and get the hang of that going again. So I'm going to come towards you, which will be my left leg. So I'm going to do a left leg side kick through. So we start off our under switch. I'm looking towards my feet. I want to know what my foot is doing and drop the heel so the toes are pointing where I want to kick the leg out and pull the elbow back. So nice and slow to start with. Coming back, the leg folds in, the heel lifts. I'm looking at my toes so I know what I'm doing and I'm pivoting back through to beast. Again, on the other side, I start my under switch. I'm looking to my feet, drop the heel, kick and pull the elbow back. Fold the leg in, lift the heel so that you can pivot back to beast. A little bit quicker, left leg side kick through. Left leg under switch. Right leg side kick through. Right leg under switch will bring you back to your beast position and then rest the knees down. So here, I'm going to do a right leg scorpion switch, scorpion reach. So when we're in a beast position, we don't do the wrist touch. All right, so there's no wrist touch with this one. You're going up and back down to this beast position. So let's hover the knees. We go right leg scorpion reach, toes point, leg turned out, or toes turned out. You start to drive up, same thing, leg goes out to the side and then up and around. Heel lift and knee bent. You're just in a narrower base. And then we reverse, leg comes out to the side. You start to bend the opposite knee so that you come all the way back down to your beast position. And then we go again on the other side. So left leg scorpion reach, point the toes, turn them out, drive it up and around. You find that peak position, push the floor away, right knee bent, right heel lifted, and then reverse. Leg comes out to the side, you start to bend the right knee. So you come back down to your beast, and then you can release the knees. So we're going to have added in that scorpion reach before we go into a side kick. So instead of coming back down to beast, you're going to come back down through beast and into a side kick. So it's beast, right leg scorpion reach, into a right leg side kick through. We're going to have a play with that. I'm going to turn to face you. So I'm pretty sure most of you, well, one or two of you have done this before, but we'll see. So from beast, right leg turns out, it goes up, out and around, the same as usual. When it comes back down, you've got to find that kind of modified beast position where one leg's off the floor before you start your under switch, drop the heel and kick. And then we bend the leg in to return to our beast position. I'll turn this way so you can see from the back. So left leg scorpion reach to a left leg side kick through. Leading with the toes, up, out and around, into a left leg side kick through, comes all the way back down, you almost hit beast, and then you keep traveling under into your side kick through. Good. Bend the leg in, and you come back through to beast and rest down. So that's the only like extra little bit I've added to this part of the floor. From there it goes full scorpion, crab reach, front step, blah, blah. Oh, and I've added in an unload as well. So this is the first section of the floor that we've been doing. So there's just a few these few little twiddly bits. So once we've come down out of that, or once we've got at that side kick, the next thing is the full scorpion where you go all the way over. All right, so I'm going to do that section and then we'll add on. So starting off in beast, we go right leg scorpion reach. Right leg scorpion reach all the way up and around. Come back down into our side kick. So right leg side kick through. Then we've got our scorpion, so full scorpion, right leg full scorpion. So it folds back under, it goes back where it came from, going all the way back up again. But this time, we're going all the way over. So pivot onto the outside edge of the foot, keep the toes pointing to the ceiling, right elbow pulling into the hip. So you're in that guard position so that we can return to crab and go straight into a right arm crab reach. So the hips lift and the arm reaches over. From there, we return to crab and we go left leg under switch to loaded beast. Left leg travels under and you organize arms and legs into your loaded beast position. Right, let's do an unload here. So just as we did in the warm-up, knees stay low, chin tuck, tail tucked, come straight out. Hold briefly, squeeze the glutes, return to loaded beast, and then rest the knees down. After that, we go into a front step, yeah? So let's just play with the front step first. So we're going to start in loaded beast. It's going to be a right leg front step. We'll do that one first. So walk the hands away. Hover the knees when you're ready. So let's just do the front step part. Right leg front step. So make sure that the foot lands forward of and wider than the opposite hand. The elbow pulls back. It's like an attack position. So I'm pulling my elbow back against my ribs. My forearm is against my ribs here. Yeah. So going back, we want to try and get the hand and the foot to move at the same time. So I'm bringing the hand down as I lift the foot to return to loaded beast. On the left, as the foot lands, pull the elbow into the ribs. The foot lands, elbow pulls back. Nicely done, good. So I'm only holding for a moment just so you get that sense of really trying to drop the pelvis and really open the hips. And then stepping back, drop the hand and the foot steps back to loaded beast. So let's try a front step through on these next ones. So this is where you need to make sure that that window is plenty big enough. Are we ready? Let's get ready to rumble. All right, so right leg front step, massive step, elbow pulling back. Good. All right, now the elbow is the first thing to move. You want it in front in the guard position, just like in our scorpion, so that the leg can move through. While I'm waffling, feel free to put your hip down, right? But otherwise, we step back to loaded beast, exactly the same way. We go again on the left, big step, elbow pulling into the ribs, like forearm touching the ribs, like a claw, and then through. So pull the leg through. Brilliant. You've got your wrong leg, Claire. You step through with the wrong leg. And then step back to loaded beast. Let's do it again on either side. So right leg front step, right elbow pulls in. That's it, you cracked it. Then left leg goes through. So it's the other leg that's going through. Yes, well done. Step back to loaded beast. And we go one more on the other side. Left leg front step. So left leg goes massive. Go big or go home. And then the right leg comes through. Brilliant. And return to loaded beast. Right, so just reiterating, if you find that your foot won't stay planted, if your window's not big enough, there is a little bit of, and this was certainly me to start with, this was my nemesis, right? I just couldn't do this at all. Couldn't get my leg forward, certainly couldn't get the leg through. So if you're a little bit, I'm going to use the word tight, stiff's probably a better word. If you're a little bit stiff around the middle, hips, lower back, and lower back for me is my stiff part. I tend towards stiffness rather than flexibility. So I'm great at strength stuff, but crap at flexibility stuff. And this needs both. But if you're a little bit stiff through the middle, you're going to find it very hard to get the leg through without the other heel coming up. But the main reason why this foot won't stay planted as you come through, it's because you've not gone big enough. So watch now, I'm very awkward as I get that leg through and it throws me off balance, especially coming back. Whereas if it was another kind of hands distance apart, but also forward, I've now got all this space to play with. And I'm a lot more balanced. You know, it becomes a lot easier. So part of it is stiffness around the bits that need to move, but most of it is getting the length. So the only thing I can say, and it's my teacher said this to me over and over and over and over, and she still does, you've got to throw your leg. It's a controlled throw. We don't usually use the word throw. You've really got to throw your leg forward. And that's me waffling to give you a break, because now we're going to go through it all. So we got front step, through, return to loaded beast. And that's about it. So we'll start again. So set beast, and we go right leg, scorpion reach into a right leg side kick through. So let's start there. Here we go. Set beast, right leg scorpion reach. Lead with the toes, up, out and around. Return, but you're going to go straight into your right leg side kick through. So under, side kick through. Right leg full scorpion. So it's going back exactly the way it's just come, all the way up and around, but it's going to continue over, land with the right elbow pulling into the right hip. So you've got your, well, you're ready to go for your crab reach. So return to crab, bend the left leg in, lift the hips up, then add the crab reach. Return to crab into a left leg under switch to loaded beast. So the left leg travels under, and I'm getting organized with my butt on my heels, my arms reaching away, my knees just off the floor. And then we go unload. So knees stay low, chin tuck, tail tuck comes straight out, just like the warm up. We hold briefly, return to loaded beast. Right leg front step, big, fling it forward, land like an elephant. The only time you're allowed to land like an elephant. Elbow comes forward so we can step through. Only just gave myself enough room. Return to loaded beast. And rest the knees down. Right, so I can't see Andrea because she's probably gone. Nick, you're in darkness, so I'm guessing that you're doing all right, and I'm guessing that you've done it on purpose so I can't see you. And Claire, well done. I can see you looking back over your shoulder to see what I'm doing, like, oh, what's going on next? Right, so we'll try the other side, yeah? So it'll be a left leg scorpion reach to a left leg side kick through, into a left leg full scorpion all the way over. You kind of notice a theme. I'm doing this so it's easier to teach, but we're kind of doing all on one side first, then we do the other side. So everything we do is on the right and then everything we do is on the left. Oh, some light. You're brave. Right, so set beast, let's go. Left leg, scorpion reach. Up and around. Left leg side kick through. So it comes all the way back down and just continues through. I kick the cat. Left leg full scorpion, so it goes back the way it came. Exactly what you've just done. Reverse everything and go back up and around. But this time we're going over. And once you land, it will be your left elbow pulling down to your left hip. So we're in this guard position again. Nicely done. So we go into our left leg crab reach. So bend the right leg in. Make sure you've got enough room to lift the hips and then reach the arm. Return to crab into a right leg under switch to loaded beast. So the right leg travels under and we get organized. It might be a bit of bath into your loaded beast. Unload, knees stay low, chin tucked, come straight out. Pause, squeeze the glutes round the spine. and then straight back, return to loaded beast. We go left leg front step, big, 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 elbow pulling back, through, elbow comes forward, step the leg through, return to loaded beast, and rest. Oh, how do we do? We all good? All right, so the next little bit we're going to add on. From loaded beast, we're going to slide to left leg side kick through, jump to right leg side kick through. So we've got all those jumpy bits in the middle. So let's just have a play with the jumpy bits. Try to think of the best way of doing it. Let's just do it. Let's set beast and come into whichever side kick through will leave you looking at the camera. It doesn't matter, right? So from beast, side kick through, whichever side. So find that extended position. Now going back, I want to go to the other side, but we're going to jump in the middle. So you could break it down nice and slow, coming back through beast with one foot off the floor, switch the feet, and then go to the other side. So we'll do that again. And come back through beast with one foot off the floor. In this case, it's my right foot. And then I'm switching the feet so I can pivot straight over to the other side. Yeah, one last time. Back through beast, hop the feet over to the other side. And then if you want to speed that up a little bit, and you don't have to, it's perfectly fine doing it like that, you would kind of jump on the way through. Make sure you land in the middle before you pivot to the other side. So I'm jumping as I go, but I land in the middle, then go to the other side. Or I'm doing a little bit slower, switch, and out to the other side. Come back through beast, and rest legs down. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to have just finished that last part of the flow in loaded beast. So we need to get from loaded beast to a left leg side kick through. So that's the slide to. We're hopping the opposite leg. All right, let's just do it. So we're going to be loaded beast. We're going to go slide to, left leg side kick through, jump to, right leg side kick through. So set beast, no, set loaded beast. So nice and slow with the slide to left leg side kick through. Your body weight starts to come forward. You're going to hop the right foot forward, left foot off the floor. Left leg side kick through. Jump to right leg side kick through. So it's same thing. You're coming back through the center, switching the legs over to the other side. Right leg side kick through. Now from there, we want to come over into crab. So we're going to do the same jumping under switch in the middle. So the leg folds in. We switch legs in the middle and keep going. So now it's a left leg under switch all the way over to crab, but your right hand's off the floor still. All right, so we go into our crab reach. You'll see me walking the feet away, try to give myself some room. Lift the hips, reach the arm. Well done. And lower back down, your crab position. So if you hear the word into, as you move in through crab, you'll know not to put your hand down. Doesn't matter if you do, because you just pick it back up again. So let's try that on the other side. So we're going to start off with loaded beast. Slide to right leg side kick through this time. So you're going to hop with the left leg. All right. So set loaded beast. We're going to slide to right leg side kick through. So hop on the left foot, right foot off the floor, side kick through. Jump to left leg side kick through. So you come through the middle, switch the legs, left leg side kick through. And then we're coming into a left arm crab reach. So you're gonna have to hop again in the middle. So bend it back in, switch the legs, all the way over to crab. Make sure you give yourself enough room, nice and wide with the feet. And then lift and reach into your crab reach. Return to crab. And you can rest the hips down there. Oh, how are we doing for time? Not so bad. I'm going to put those those two parts of the flow together. So from the beginning, we're going to set beast. We'll do our scorpions again. We should be able to get through both sides before the end of the session. So let's do this thing. So we set beast. And we go right leg, scorpion reach, lead with the toes, up, out and around. Right leg side kick through. So you're coming all the way back down and going straight under for your side kick through. Now we go full scorpion. So right leg full scorpion, all the way over, no rush. We'll leave your right hand in the air so that you can bend your left leg into crab and lift into a right arm crab reach. Return to crab into a left leg under switch loaded beast. So left leg travels under and we organize into our loaded beast position. Unload, knees stay low, chin stays tucked, round the spine forward, squeeze the glutes. Return to loaded beast. Right leg front step, make it big, 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 big. Through, elbow comes forward so that you could get the leg through. Return to loaded beast. Now we slide to left leg side kick through. So hop on the right foot, left leg side kick through, jump to right leg side kick through. So switch legs in the middle, right leg side kick through. We're going all the way over into a right arm crab reach. So same thing, switch the legs in the middle, left leg travels under, give yourself enough space for your legs so your hips can lift into your right arm crab reach. Return to crab, and then just do a left leg under switch back through to beast. And we'll go to the other side. So working on the left side. That beast, left leg, scorpion reach, so leading with the toes, up, out and around. Left leg, side kick through. So reverse the movement and then let the leg travel under for your side kick through. Full scorpion, left leg full scorpion, goes back up and around exactly where it came from. You're traveling all the way over, left elbow pulling down to left hip. Return to crab, so bend the right leg in, left arm crab reach, lift the hips, reach the arm. Return to crab into a right leg under switch to loaded beast. So the right leg's going to come under and we organize into our loaded beast. Unload. Knees stay low. Coming out. I got that right, not that it matters. Round it back. We've done the front step on this side yet. I don't think we have we? Left leg front step. So make it big, 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 big. Through. Return to loaded beast. And then we slide to a right leg side kick through. So skip on the left, right leg side kick through, jump to left leg side kick through, switch in the middle, over to the other side. Jumping under switch, the left arm crab reach. We're nearly done, chaps. Doing really well. Switch in the middle, all the way under, around into your crab, left hand in front of the face, lift the hips, reach the arm. And that's your crab reach to finish. Lower the hips back down and rest. Oh, bloody hell, where does the time go when you're having so much fun? Give your wrists a bit of a shake. I'm going to stop the recording. Just come on for a minute.